mission to win it, some ammunition to get it. Don't need permission to finish. Got an addiction that's gripping. Got some convictions I'm living. Once I'm committed, I'm in it. Got a prediction, I'm winning.
They're the pure bloods, I'm the hybrid. The hate change, so they try to push and fight it. I stay steady, yeah, I've always been defiant. Up against the beast, yeah, I'm up against a giant.
But now I'm gunning for their heads, and I will die with no regrets. This season come to an end, I'm seeing all red. And now the king is dead. And now the king is dead. And now the king is dead. Welcome to the new regime. We do what we want, yeah, we do anything. Took everything to extreme, cause we were suppressed when we had big dreams. Yeah, it's a new machine. All our energy coming from caffeine. No pain, morphine. This our world now, we the kings and queens.
They're the pure bloods, I'm the hybrid. The hate change, so they try to push and fight it. I stay steady, yeah, I've always been defiant. Up against the beast, yeah, I'm up against a giant.
But now I'm gunning for their heads, and I will die with no regrets. This season come to an end, I'm seeing all red. And now the king is dead. And now the king is dead. And now the king is dead.
You can't stop me, I'm a problem. I can feel my adrenaline calling. Blood pumps as my form starts evolving. Better watch out or I'll put you in a coffin. You can't stop me, I'm a problem. I can feel my adrenaline calling. Blood pumps as my form starts evolving. Better watch out or I'll put you in a coffin.
You can't stop me, I'm a problem. I can feel my adrenaline calling. Blood pumps as my form starts evolving. Better watch out or I'll put you in a coffin. You can't stop me, I'm a problem. I can feel my adrenaline calling. Blood pumps as my form starts evolving. Better watch out or I'll put you in a coffin.
Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no, now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beat
beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep, do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep, do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast.
of a breeze rustling leaves in the world outside your window. Instead, you woke to the sound of a very grumpy, pompous book opening, then shutting its cover, repeatedly, as loudly as possible. Good morning, Master. Oh, I apologize. Did I wake you? It's probably about time for me to get up anyway. Good, it would be a tragedy to waste your morning on slumber. Up, let's get a move on. With a grumble, you pushed the covers aside and swung your legs out of your bed. You made your way over to the dresser, picked up a change of clothes, then turned back to look at Barnabas, who was sitting on your desk across the room. Do you mind? I'm changing. It's not as if I have eyes, Master. I can see the world differently from a base creature like you. Cool, but I'd rather you didn't see me getting changed anyway. If it pleases you, Master, I will turn around. Does that satisfy? I'm half tempted to give Barnabas a fucking Transylvanian accent. I don't know why. You quickly changed and grabbed a piece of fruit, noting that your food stock was near empty now. Oh, it's time to go get food, hey. I don't want to go get the food. I hate shopping. I'll have to find a grocery store later. Now, as much as I enjoy your presence, Bernie, I've got work to do. Do you want to come with, or do I give him a Transylvanian accent? Okay. No, thank you. The thought of being paraded around in front of a general populace, subject to the gazes of those who cannot appreciate my glory, fills me with despair. I'll stay right here, thank you. I'll turn on the TV for you, just in case you get bored. Your consideration is touching, Master, truly. See ya. Barnabas is so sarcastic. With that, you made your way down the stairs and stepped into the store proper. Time to greet Florian. Oop. There we go. You were halfway down the stairs when you heard noise. Fuck me. I can't read. You were halfway down the stairs when you heard voices talking back and forth. That was beginning to feel like a normal thing around the store, but you didn't recognize one of the two voices. I'm afraid that's not possible. Carez requires her to rest, and besides, it is my duty to protect them. Lucille, come on, it's not that big of a deal. I just want to see them with a little bedhead. I will not budge on this matter. Sleep is more important than your senseless whims. Is there a party I didn't get invited to going on? This seems to happen a lot. You'll make a person feel left out if you're not careful. You winked towards Lucille, who instantly straightened up, then turned your eyes towards the other person. Your eyes met another's, a man with red hair you didn't recognize. He smiled up at you lopsidedly, before brushing a lock of hair behind his ear. Well, if it isn't the most mesmerizing face I've seen all week, you must be the new owner of the store. You can call me Handsome, or Eden will do. You know what? Hello, Handsome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Carez, right? I've heard a lot about you, but it looks like rumors were selling you short. Rumors? Well, color me curious. Eden took a few steps up the staircase, his gloved hand trailing over the railing as he approached you. When he got close enough, he leaned in towards you and whispered. He wasn't quite touching you, but it was close enough that it felt like an intimate gesture. Funny story, I'd heard that the new store. Oh, I cannot read! Might jump into Minecraft, that doesn't require reading. Funny story, I'd heard that the new owner had already had a fan club because of their overwhelming beauty and charisma. From what I've seen, I'd have to agree. Eden pulled back and smiled. Well, the rumors say a lot more than that, but let's leave some of the secrets of mystery for now, shall we? You have to be a little mysterious to be interesting after all. At that, Eden turned around and walked back down the stairs, the sound of wood creaking with every step. If there's something you need, Sir Eden, I suggest you speak now. Why rush our first meeting? We'll be telling everyone about it at our wedding. He winked up at you, then turned his attention to Lucille. Really, you don't need to be so defensive. I don't bite unless you ask me nicely. I have no interest in anything of the sort from you. If you have no business here, please take your leave. We are running an establishment here. Lucille moved her hand towards the hilt of her sword, but didn't try it. Eden raised his hands and backed up a step. Alright. I'm going to note that down for next time. Lucille isn't a fan of jokes. My deepest apologies, my lady knight. Eden gave a half bow to Lucille while she just shifted the stand a little straighter. I just wanted to introduce myself to our lovely new shopkeep. Believe it or not, I'm actually Willowmist's most famous carpenter. I believe you are Willowmist's only carpenter. Ouch, that may be true, but the point still stands. A carpenter? He looks more like a model. I was expecting someone who looks more like Quinn. I happen to be acquainted with your aunt. We work together on occasion, so I'd like to extend the same offer to you. If I remember correctly, Sir Eden, Lady Sylvie would also refer to you as a flirt and a liar. What can I say? There's so much beauty in the world. Should I not celebrate it? Lady Sylvie would say that you are incapable of taking anything seriously. That I can accept. You're such an honest person, Lucille. It almost makes me jealous. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'd love the chance to get to know you properly, Perez. How about dinner and drink some meat tomorrow night? He reminds me of a fae. I'm not even going to lie. He reminds me of a fucking fae. Tomorrow night? Well, maybe. I'll be able to shift around my incredibly full schedule if you ask nicely. Oh, is that how it's gonna be? Well then, pretty please, may I treat you to a night of fine wine and dining? Holy shit, fine dining and wine! I'd completely reverse that! That was actually pretty good. I'm impressed. I'm an actor at heart. Then I shall accompany you as bodyguard. I don't think that's... Actually, you know what? Why don't we just invite everyone? It could be like a housewarming party. Here, I thought I'd managed to snag a date. What a shame. Still, that sounds like fun. I'll leave it to you to invite whoever you like. You seem like you have good taste. The bell by the door chimed as the door opened, and the familiar face of Emmett poked his head through. Good morning. I gotta do the deep voice? Okay. Good morning, I'm here for... He paused as his eyes locked with Eden's. And then he turned and walked straight back out the door. Let's go! That's the same reaction anybody would have to a fae. Nobody likes him. He's a fucking fae. Emmett? How cute. He's being all shy. I'll go get him. Don't you worry, your pretty little head. Eden strode past you, then exited the store. A few moments later, they both came back in with Eden's arm around Emmett's. I don't know what I did. Around Emmett's shoulder. Where are you off to? Where are you off to so quickly, my friend? Don't tell me you're trying to avoid me. I'd prefer it, yes. Everyone's so honest this morning. How refreshing. What brings you here today, Emmett? My job, which you're currently preventing me from doing. There's always more time for work later. There's not always friends later. That would be true, yes, but you're all acquaintances at most. But hey, you're meant to think stuff like that, not to say it to our face. You're such a stick in the mud. And you're a thorn in my side. Unhand me. You'll run away. I might just have to hold on to you tighter. I might, yes, and please don't. You two are friends then? We absolutely are. We absolutely are not. It's more like I happen to bump into him no matter where I go, and he takes it upon himself to bother me non-stop. You're too stubborn for your own good. One day I'll get you to agree we're best friends. Hell, we're freeze over before that day comes. So cold, and I thought we had such a beautiful relationship. You're breaking my heart over here, Emmett. Emmett, the famous heartbreaker. I like the sound of that. Don't encourage him. He'll never stop. Please encourage me more. I'm like a puppy. I thrive on attention. Yes, exactly. Just like a puppy, desperately in need of discipline. He's a fucking fae. He's a fucking fae. Since you're here, Emmett, I was wondering if you'd like to come out for dinner with us tomorrow night. No, thank you. Scared that Eden will bite? Eden? He's going. Yeah, so far it's me, Eden, Lucille. I'd like to ask Florian and Winnie too. I'd really like you to come with them. It's a difference. Fine, I will make a spot in my otherwise packed schedule. I hope you appreciate the effort. What a gentleman, Emmett. How very unlike you to change your mind. Maybe you have a soft spot for Perez, eh? I have nothing of the sort. I'm merely agreeing so that someone responsible can be on hand to keep things under control. Emmett shrugged out of Eden's grasp, then brushed himself off. Now, if that is all, I need to speak with Perez in private. Well, when you put it like that, I can't help but wonder about your relationship. Do tell me what happens. Nothing is going to happen. It is a simple discussion and nothing more. Is that a blush I see on your cheeks? Maybe you're the one who needs glasses here. Stop making things up. Allow me to escort you out, Sir Eden, so that Sir Emmett and Perez may talk in peace for the moment. What a noble way of throwing me out. Well, it was nice meeting you, Perez. I hope to see you around town. Definitely. It's been a pleasure. I'll let you know more about my services later, but drinks first. I'm a very hands-on worker. I'd like to get to know my business partners before we work together. Ugh. Sounds great. See you tomorrow, Eden. Lucille put a hand on Eden's back and saw him to the doorway. He finally exited the store, the bell tinkling as he did. Pardon the intrusion. As I said, we need to talk. Sure thing. What's up? Did you miss me so bad you had to come see me first thing? Don't be absurd. Did you give my business card to anyone? No, of course not. Why would I? I'm keeping your number all to myself, thank you. Damn it. If you're not responsible, then that's even more concerning. How did they find me and get a hold of my number? Who? What's going on? It's my previous employer. What would they want? Wait, did you do accounting for a criminal organization or something? I worry about the fantasies that are going on in that head of yours. Forget it, I'll deal with it myself. You're kinda making me worry here. You're a client, there's no need to worry about me. Nuh-uh, we're close acquaintances now. I think that means I'm legally allowed to worry about you. I'm no solicitor, but I'm certain that's not how this works. So you're trying to argue that me worrying about you is illegal? What? No, stop talking such nonsense. I can't believe you'd call me nonsensical, Mr. Accountant, for a crime syndicate. That's not... Ugh, forget it, you're impossible. Emmett pinched the nose of his bridge and closed his eye. What? The nose of his bridge? Anyway, can I read, please? Please? Emmett pinched the bridge of his nose and closed his eyes, almost like he was in pain. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Nothing illegal at the very least. Let's just say I terminated my contract early and they aren't happy about it. Well, they can't force you to go back in. I'd like to say no, but they're so obsessed with their rules and regulations that they might have some obscure way to try and make me work for them again. And that would be a bad thing, right? I left for a reason. Ugh, what a terrible start to an otherwise good morning. At least you got to see me. As I said, thank you for your concern, Perez. It's not necessary, but, well, thank you anyway. What you guys whispering about? Is it secrets? Ooh, I love secrets. Come on, tell me. I won't tell anyone, I swear. Oh, Winnie, good morning. Have you and Emmett met before? Does watching him from the corner of the room count? I don't think so. Then, nope, my name is Winnie. Nice to meet ya. So, what's happening? None of your business, Miss Winona. Just Winnie is fine. Fine, Miss Just Winnie. No, I mean, I'm just Winnie. As I said, Miss Just Winnie. Fine, I'll be Miss Just Winnie, but you have to be Mr. Tall and Serious. Mr. Finch will suffice. Mr. always looks like he got a stick up his butt. I feel like that one might be a little long. Thank you for noticing. It takes a lot of effort to maintain. Hehe, I like you. You're funny. Funny isn't the word I'd use, but if you'd prefer it, then be my guest. Now, if that's all, I have other things to attend to. Hey, Emmett. Yes? This all could have been a text, you know. And? I'm just saying, I feel like you stopped by just to see me. You would be incorrect as I give you my number, but you never gave me yours. Good day, Miss Marigold. Miss Just Winnie. At that, Emmett turned on his heel and walked out the door, the bell jingling as he did. Winnie turned around and waved her hand, watching as he left. So, what was that about? A romantic tryst, a secret rendezvous, the beginnings of forbidden love? Do you read a lot of romance novels or something, Winnie? Well, it does get boring around here sometimes. It wasn't anything like that. A romantic try sounds more like fun than the actual answer. It's just work stuff. Romance avoids me like the plague. What? Surely I didn't hear you right. You? But you're so fun and cute and cool. I'm one of those things, but I'll leave you to guess which. Oh, by the way, Winnie, I wanted to ask you something. Would you like to go to dinner with me tomorrow night? Dinner with you? Are you inviting me on a date? Sure, a date with me, Emmett, Lucille, Eden, and hopefully Florian. We're all gonna be one big happy family. Okay, so this is not a one-on-one thing. Boo! Did you want it to be one-on-one? Well, of course, I want to get to know you better. Well, a bigger group doesn't have to stop that, does it? Plus, we can always hang out there. I want to get to know you better too, Windu. Yeah, that sounds fun. Winnie shifted and fiddled with her hands. Can I think about it and let you know later? Oh, sure, it's not until tomorrow anyway, so there's no rush. If you don't want to go, you don't have to either. Oh no, I super want to, I'll let you know. Alright, I better get ready to open up anyway. Okie dokie, see you later, alligator. Winnie gave a small wave, then floated up and through the ceiling. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. Learn about woodworking. Why? Man the counter, clean the store, pay your bills, sort through storage. Pay? Can I do more than... I want to do all of these. Anyway. I don't think I need to clean the store today. I will sort through storage, though. No, we need to man the counter, too. Okay, give me 1 second. You sat down at your desk ready to go over the week's bills. You paid your bills in full, $80. You're leaning against the counter, eating the last of your food supply when Florian comes in through the front door, nearly dragging his bag behind him. You thought it would be impossible, but somehow he looked even more tired than usual. I got the hiccups. Fuck me. Hi, Florian. Long night? He pulled off his usual disguise. Good morning, night, afternoon, fuck whatever it is. A brilliant start to your shift. Can I get you a coffee or something? Yes, wait, no, seriously, are you okay? I'm fine. God, you're so nosy. It's just been a long few days. Florian dragged his bag over to the counter and sat down with a sigh. I can tell you're looking worse every day. Gee, thanks. Florian's voice was a flat monotone, as if all the energy had been sucked out of him. You could always take a few days off. I'm sure we could manage. You'll have to take a double shift on sweeping, but hey, I could use the arm workout. I do more than sweeping, and now also I don't want to. I'm not sick, just... It's fine, stop worrying about me and worry about something more productive. Give me an example then and I'll consider it. Running the store. I think I've kind of got that down by now. Something else. Fuck, I don't know. All this supernatural stuff you're struggling with. Yeah, actually, about that. Yeah, actually about that. What? I think I might be a witch or a wizard or something along those lines. God, what changed overnight? To make a long story short, a magic book with the worst personality ever pretty much hit me in the face with the revelation. I'm fine. You know what? Sure, magic book's great. Same. Same, Florian. I'm fine. You know what? Sure, magic book's great. Really? That's all? What do you want me to say? You're a witch? Hooray, let's celebrate. I kinda thought you'd have a bit more to say than that. Do you know if my aunt was like this? Well, there was actually something wrong with her. Hey, I don't mean, look, she's eccentric and she lives here. There was always going to be something up with her. So you didn't know she was a witch. I will mute for 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So you didn't know she was a witch? Nope, she tends to keep things to herself. It's kind of her thing. And you're fine with that? Look, she pays me. I don't care if she's a witch or an alien or whatever else, just as long as my bills get paid. Felt. I'm sure you have sick leave, you know. You ought to use it. I'm not sick. Leave it. Jeez, alright. Stop, I'll drop it. Florian let out a breath. Sorry, I've just had a shit few days. If you're a witch or whatever, maybe you have some spell to give me my energy back. He laughed weakly and rested his head on the counter. I'd give anything to sleep right now. You can use my bed if you'd like. I can't think of anything weirder than sleeping in Sylvie's room. I think the bed smells more like me than her, if that helps. It does not. It's not for lack of trying anyway. Thanks for the offer, though. Pat on the head. Are you going shopping? Where are you going shopping? Wow, if I had known that, I would have bought some at Dollarama while I was up. Not at this very moment, no. Not that I can think of. Got more than enough cat food. Yeah. Okay. He reached down and gave him a pat on his head. His hair was actually very soft. What are you doing? Sorry, really, it was kind of force of habit. You reminded me of my mom's dog. Your mom's dog? Yeah, when she's grubby, she puts her head down like that, too. My bad. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, you're much softer than her. Whatever, I have work to do. Oh, I love this. He practically flew away from the counter, cheeks turning bright red. Sorry, Florian! With that, you finished up your lunch break and got back to work. Let's man the counter. Do 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 do. Can't you check out the back? I'm really sorry, sir, but we don't stock anything that isn't antique. There's probably a store around town that has. There isn't. This is the last place I've got left to check. You really don't have it? I might have an old flip phone or something upstairs, but new phone models? No, I'm afraid not. This is ridiculous. How could you not stock phones? What is this? The Stone Age? This is an antique store. God, what did I do to deserve this? Welcome to retail life. Once again, this is an antique store. We're not a regular store, and we don't carry new products. Typical of these small towns and their old people's shops. I can't even get a proper phone here. At that moment, you heard the sound of metal grating against metal, and in the blink of an eye, a silver sword was placed between you and the customer. Good sir, you will respect the master of this establishment, or you will leave. Hey, watch where you're waving that thing, woman. It's a sword, not a toy. This blade was forged in the fires of war. I am well aware that it is no toy. Now, you may either apologize or you may leave. Fine, fine, sorry, Jesus. He grumbled and turned on his heel, leaving the shop without the haste of a man threatened with a real sword. Phew, thanks, Lucille. It is my pleasure. If you should require aid, you need only ask. Therese. She gave me a smile and sheathed her sword with ease. I was hoping he'd get the hint without having a sword pointed at him. Oh well. Some people require a firmer hand to understand the importance of manners. Is there usually many customers like that? Nay, the majority are very courteous and polite. Lady Sylvie would say that a great deal of trouble comes from passing tourists. However, they are few and far in between. Tourists, huh? You did seem to be passing through. Aye, the inhabitants of this town are a good sort and would never speak ill of the store. Everyone likes Auntie Sylvie, huh? Indeed, she is the best of us, and then some. Hey, Lucille, thank you, really. I know it's your job, but my sword is yours, your enemies are mine. If there is but one thing you can depend on in this life, it is that. She bowed her head and left to continue her patrol. I got 42 XP! We only have one thing left. We really need to go through the storage tomorrow. 30 fucking 2, so that would be 16, so... You get seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. The bells chime and the customer comes inside. Good day! The air feels brighter simply by stepping into your shop. Welcome! Christmas bells brooch. It's quite interesting. A wise bargain. I will gladly take it. And now we're completely out of inventory. Woo! Parting is such sweet sorrow, but I shall sweeten it with the anticipation of my return. See you next time. The customer leaves the store. You saw one customer today, but no one else is coming now. Shouldn't Quinn have been working his fucking day job? Anyway, it was a little past 5 p.m. when you flipped over the sign on the door to closed and let out a drowsy sigh. What a day. You say that every day, you know, like a broken record. Well, every day is exhausting, in a good way, though. How can anything be exhausting in a good way? Have you ever finished something Ba. I can't fucking read. Haven't you ever finished something and been tired but really proud of your work? Nope. I usually finish shit, then wish I'd never started it in the first place. I feel that, Florian. You're kind of a pessimist. The world isn't sunshine and rainbows. Fucking rainbows, bitch, not rainbows. That's true, but well, bad things will happen. If life goes on, isn't that kind of cool? Not really. Maybe if you didn't frown so much, you'd be more positive. I don't think it works like that. Give it a try. See, just copy my face. It's really easy. Just relax your muscles and nope, still frowning eye. See, it's not a frown. It's just my face. That's unfortunate for you. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing at all. Noisy must run in your family or something. Noisy, annoying, and a complete pain in the ass. You forgot gorgeous, charming, and funny. No, trust me, I didn't. You grinned and Florian turned away from you, looking around the store. It looked as it always did, a mess of knickknacks and clutter, but a clean store. Florian did a good job, even if he always tries to deny it. Hey Florian, I was wondering something. You're always wondering something or another, you never stop asking questions. It's good to have an inquisitive brain, you know, it keeps me young or something like that. Anyway, it seems like a lot of effort, especially when you could just keep your mouth shut and think of yourself instead. Anyway, as I was saying, I know that you grew up in town, but not much else. You haven't always worked here, right? What did you do before? Is it important? That depends how important you think getting to know each other is. Not important, then. I think you default to being mean when you feel shy. Look, I used to be in college, but that didn't work out, and I dropped out. Same, Florian! Fucking same! I just cracked my neck in 10 different places. This is fine. My neck feels so loosey-goosey now. Anyway. There's a college here. That's surprising. I didn't know the population of Willowmist could support it. No. It was in the city. Didn't you say you'd always lived here? I was only gone a few months. It hardly counts. Well, why'd you drop out? Got bored of your major? Why is this so important to you? You've got a magic book upstairs, right? Why don't you go bug it instead? I don't know if Barnabas would like that. He has a name. Hey, I didn't pick it. He came pre-named, though to be fair, Barnabas is kind of a rocking name. You're changing the subject? Barnabas has nothing to do with this. I'm interested in you. Health complications, alright. I couldn't stay, but I also couldn't come back when... Ugh, look, fine. If you're so desperate to know, I'll tell you, but can we sit down? My head is killing me. Of course, we can use my room upstairs if that's alright with you. Florian looked to the side, a dusting of red appearing on his cheeks. Now he's trying to get who into bed. I never mentioned bed, did I? You're the one thinking about that. I never... You no need to deny it, you literally just brought it up. Look, you're cute, but I think that's jumping ahead a little, don't you? I'm not... You don't... Ugh. With that, Florian turned around and stomped upstairs, huffing the entire way up. Yes. Welcome to my humble abode, Sir Florian. God, shut up, you sound like Lucille. Is that a bad thing? I know you two have pretty different, but I hope that's not a problem. One Lucille is enough, that's all. It's not like I hate her, she's just a lot. Alright, I'll keep the chivalry to a minimum, my fair liege. He flopped down on your couch, sinking into the cushions. Florian followed, though much more cautiously, perching himself on the opposite end. He looked around the room, his gaze lingering on a photo frame. It had been there when you had arrived, a picture of a much younger Aunt Sylvie holding a baby. It must have been you. This place is weirdly empty. You think? It's packed with all kinds of stuff in here. Sometimes I wonder where my aunt got it all. No, I mean, Sylvie has a big personality. She kind of filled any space she was in. I'm trying my best over here. I guess it's alright with you here, too. Hey, I'll take second best to her. She's amazing. Anyway, what were we talking about? You dropping out of college. Right. Florian Brinked? Oh man, I can't fucking read. I think I'm ending the stream after this. What the fuck? Florian blinked a few times, as if his eyes were trying to stay open. Are you feeling okay? Stop asking me that, I'm fine. He gently rubbed his temples, then shook his head. Just a headache, it's no big deal. Anyway, college. I just had some health shit and I left, but look, I won't sugarcoat it, and I'm not asking for your pity. My dad ran off after my little sister was born, and my mom struggled to raise both of us. I quit high school to have a couple of part-time jobs to help her. Oh, Florian, I'm sorry. You did what you had to survive, it's fine. But my mom, she secretly saved up to send me to college for years without telling me, then she just sent me off. She wanted the best for you. Yeah, but why should the best not include them? But fine, whatever. I went, and I couldn't face them when I dropped out. They think I'm still in the city, living my life, getting my degree, and I can't bring myself to tell them otherwise. So wait, they live in Willowmist, but have no clue you're here too? Florian, why? They would probably love to see you. I can't face them. She gave up everything for me, and I just let her down completely. What am I meant to say? Hey, mom, turns out I'm a fuck-up who can't even make it through a single semester of college? Surprise! She'd be happy just seeing you and knowing you're safe. That's what parents do, especially if it's health-related. I can't. Not like this. Florian's head sank down into his hands, his shoulders trembling. I'm not who I was when I left. I'm not her perfect little son anymore. Without thinking, he leaned forward and pulled Florian. Fuck me, I can't breathe. Why are the L's fucking me up? The fucking L's are fucking me up. I can't read! Oh god, I can read just fine in my head. But as soon as I start speaking aloud, I fuck up every goddamn sentence. What is this? What is this? Okay, slow down and fucking read ahead before you say it out loud. Okay, will do. I'm talking to myself. Without thinking, he leaned forward and pulled Florian into a hug. He stiffened, his breath catching, and his hands hovered over your back. What are you? I'm sorry, Florian, really. Slowly, though, his arms wrapped around you and he squeezed you tight. It's not like it's your fault. There's no reason to be sorry. I just want to go home and feel like things are normal again. Can't you? I truly, honestly believe that your mom would just be happy to see you. It's not just that. I don't deserve it anymore. I can't trust myself around her or my sister. Trust yourself? Even you should be keeping your distance. God, you're so fucking naive. I'll just mess things up for you too. Everything I touch just falls apart. I don't think that's true. I'm right here and I haven't fallen apart yet. The store hasn't fallen down around us. You're not destroying anything. Yet. I didn't want to share any of this. Bab, fuck, slow down, bitch. God damn it. Oh. I didn't want to share any of this shit. You know that? It's embarrassing. There's no shame in feeling emotions. Isn't that just proof we're human? I know that it's difficult for you, and I can't just magically make it better. But if you need someone to talk to or anything else, you can rely on me. You're too nice, you know. You're gonna end up getting taken advantage of. By who? You? I don't think you have the energy to take advantage of anyone, even if you wanted to. Ugh, thanks, I guess. Florian pulled back and wiped his eyes with his sleeve. Seriously, though, don't say anything about this to anyone. Our secret. I'm pretty good at keeping secrets, you know. Hardly. You've known me for less than 24 hours, and you've already broadcast my existence to the entirety of this quaint little establishment. At this rate, I expect you to be handing out pamphlets by week's end. Truly, your discretion is legendary. What the? There he is, my favorite talking book in the whole world. Not a lot of competition there, but don't let that hurt your feelings. And, to be fair, I haven't told everyone yet, only Florian. Oh, Florian, meet Barnabas. Barnabas Florian. It literally talks. Did you think I was making it up? No, but I didn't expect... My reputation precedes me as always. Hello, Florian. It is a pleasure to meet in front of my esteemed master, or some such drivel. Barnabas isn't very nice if you hadn't noticed. No shit. You will have to excuse me as I was rudely interrupted in the middle of my rest. Your rest? What does a book have to be so tired about anyway? Plenty of things, you impudent creature. If the effort it takes to communicate with my new master, for example, is truly a Herculean task. I can't fucking read. Ha ha ha. At that, Barnabas floated across the room and landed on the desk. It just flies? God, I'm too tired for this shit. Same, Florian. Florian is such a mood. Mood, not mood. What the fuck? I can't even. Fuck English, man. Now, I've embarrassed myself in front of 2 people. Great. Fortunately for you, I have the displeasure of being in service only to my pitiful master, and as such, have no one to share your shame with. Just ignore him. I'll put it in the drawer if he gives that up. The audacity! Fine, silence me, but mark my words, you will soon regret it. Why did I turn Norse at the end of that? That took a couple minutes to fucking sink in, but I turned Norse at the end of that fucking sentence. Oh my god. I can do so many more accents than I thought I did. Fuck me. This must all be a lot for me too. And my fucking headphones fell off. This is great. This is fine. Just a little bit. I like to think I'm pretty good at running with things, but sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't even really know where to start. But I've got all the time in the world to work it out anyway. Aren't you going home in 3 months? Okay, I've got 3 months to work it out. Thanks, Florian. Sorry, I wasn't trying to make it worse. I'm just kidding, really. I'm having fun. I'll be fine. I wish I had- Fuck me! Slow down, you're reading! What the fuck? No! Well, fuck off the fuck off! I'm glad it didn't switch to my computer. So I'm exiting Spotify on my phone. Okay. I wish I had a drop of your optimism. Change fucking sucks. Yes, it does. I need a drink, but my water bottle has a really bad habit of splatting water everywhere. Yeah, but sometimes it can be really great too. I've only been here a week and it feels like I've made a whole bunch of friends. It's really, really great. Oh yeah, A Date with Death got a fucking first game got a voice acting patch. Fucking Jonah Scott? The one who voiced the buff man in Skate the Infinity. The one that always is arguing with Cherry Blossom Man. Anyway, I can't remember the names of anime characters. I don't know why. I can remember literally everything else. Yeah, well, you're easy to like. Am I now? For some people, not me. I am totally going to date Florian. I'm going after Florian. You don't like me at all? Aww. Damn, I already planned out our wedding and everything. What? Our 3 kids, Alexis, Jasmine, and Michael, a white picket fence on a dog named Bobo, and you just throw it all away? Throw it all away. It doesn't exist. You're delusional. So that's a no to my proposal. No. So it's a yes? No, I mean, God, you're so frustrating. I love you too. Don't say stuff like that. Seriously, Bobo, what kind of name is that? What do you suggest then? Toaster. Toaster? It's a good name for a dog. It's not better than Bobo. I disagree. If Florian's more than serious tone, you couldn't help but grin. Fine, Toaster it will be. Hey, that's not... I feel like I've just been scammed into a marriage. You have! This is all legally binding. God, please tell me you're joking. I am, but I do like you, Florian, as much as you try to be unlikable. I'm not saying we need to be the best friends, but I do hope that we can get along. Yeah, fine, I wouldn't mind being friends with you, and you're not terrible to work with. We're getting somewhere now. Hey, what's your sister like? I can imagine you as a super duper doting older brother now that I think about it. I mean, yeah, I guess I was. She's super bossy and a pain in the ass, but, well, she's my sister. How old is she? 10, probably 11 now, actually. Do you have any photos? You scooted a little closer to Florian on the couch. Yeah, I think so. Florian reached into his pocket and took out his phone, flipping through his photo album. You couldn't help but lean in to see what was on his screen. You could see pictures of a little girl, a woman who must have been his mother, and Florian himself, though a few years younger. It was hard not to notice how much brighter Florian looked. He lacked his signature eye bags, and he had a wide smile on his face. It was the kind of smile you'd never seen from him. That's her. You two look so similar. You could be twins. Sure, if I wasn't 13 years older than her, Mom had me young. She's adorable, Florian. Your mom looks really nice, too. In response, you pulled out your own phone, scrolling through until you found a picture of you sitting next to your mom, back when you moved into your first apartment, which was also the apartment you just moved out of. This is my mom a few years ago. Wow, your genes run strong, huh? Yep, my aunt and her look pretty similar, don't you think? This was back when I moved out of home. I lived in this little apartment right in the middle of the city. Sounds noisy. Yeah, I didn't sleep a lot. You let out a soft breath before locking your phone and placing it back down on the table. That apartment was so weird. Did you know that the elevator fell like a dozen times? There was an earthquake localized to just the building, and a crane ran the first floor all in a single year? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, that all happened in a date with death! That all happened in a date with death. We are in the same fucking universe. Carez, our character in Willowmist, was in the same building as our character from A Date with Death. Were that... Wait. The fucking eavesdropping achievements. Were we eavesdropping on ourselves from a different game? Were we eavesdropping on ourselves from a different game? It all fucking clicked in my head. Oh my god. Seriously? Yeah, but not a single person got hurt. I swear to god, someone in that building upset the Grim Reaper or something. What the fuck? Oh my god. What the fuck? We're in the same universe as A Date with Death. We're in the same universe as A Date with Death. And yes, we did upset the Grim Reaper. Safe to say, I think we pissed him off. He made a whole fucking game just to kill us. But then we got to flirting. And he fell for us hard. And then we became Reapers. We either opened a flower shop somewhere in town or became Grim Reapers. Anyway. For the first time since you'd met him, Florian smiled, his hand coming up to his mouth as he tried to muffle a laugh. Maybe you're cursed or something. With everything else going on, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. You've got a nice smile, you know. Florian blinked, his cheeks slowly turned red. What? I said you have a pretty nice smile, that's all. I didn't really mean anything by it, it's just nice to see. You come out with the most random things, you're meant to just think that kind of shit, not say it. He leaned back, smacking his head gently a few times on the back of the sofa. Ugh, my head is killing me. I've got painkillers in the bathroom cabinet if you want. They don't really help, but fuck it, I'll try. You hopped off the couch and headed to the bathroom. Your aunt had left an assortment of pills and medicines in the cupboard, but you didn't have a clue what most of them were. You scooped up the painkillers, then popped back out. Florian was still in the same spot, but his eyes were shut tight and his chest gently rose and fell with each breath. Don't tell me another imbecile is moving into my quarters. Shh, be quiet, he's sleeping. And these aren't your quarters, I'm just letting you stay here with me because I'm nice. Shh, Barnabas, they say, you're interrupting the poor, tired man's beauty sleep. They cry, well fine, I'll just be silent then if that is what you desire. Carefully you draped the knitted blanket over Florian's legs, then settled in next to him, watching his sleeping face. He looked peaceful, much more peaceful than when he was awake. God, you really were exhausted. You ought to take better care of yourself, you know that? Well, you'll probably hate me for it, but I'll let you rest for a bit, okay? Maybe I'll close my eyes for a bit too, just a little bit. That'd be okay, right? Night, Florian. With a yawn, you drifted off to sleep as well. Are we immediately switching over to day 7? No, we're not. Okay. You woke up to the sound of someone shifting beside you, amongst the otherwise gentle hum of night. Lazily, you opened your eyes, expecting to see Florian on his feet, embarrassed about falling asleep beside you, but instead you noticed a shadowed figure hovering above you, leaning towards you. Oh, finally! Is it happening? You blinked, trying to wake up your sluggish mind, and finally realized it was Florian. He was close to you, and his eyes were half-lidded, his expression distant and unfocused. One hand was down beside you, the other braced against the couch to the side of your head. A sudden chill ran through your body, despite the warmth still lingering in the air. Florian? No response came from Florian. He remained completely still, staring at you. No, not at you, but at your neck. His head dipped lower. The faintest brush of his nose against your skin sent a jolt through your nerves, and suddenly the sluggish fog in your mind cleared as his mouth was inches from your neck, his breath hot against your skin. His eyes... Fuck me. Your eyes went to his face, and then you noticed something. A flash of something pointed and sharp between his parted lips. Fangs. Your body tensed, your heart hammered in your chest, and his breath hitched like you could hear it. Florian. There's no response. It was almost as if he wasn't truly himself. His posture was wrong, like he was acting on instinct alone, and in the dark, the glint of moonlight reflecting off his eyes, his gaze looked almost empty. You felt the faintest graze of his teeth against your skin, a breath's distance from sinking in now. A shiver ran down your spine, but you managed to keep a lid on the panic threatening to break through. You lifted a hand and reached out, cupping Florian's cheek. The movement caused his eyes to open wider, and his lips paused. Slowly and ever so gently, you brushed your thumb against his cheek, expecting warmth radiating from his skin, but instead finding him as cold as a corpse. Your hand shook slightly, and your breath was ragged and shallow. Florian, are you there? At the sound of his name, he blinked a few times and then looked down. When he saw where he was, he recoiled as if burned, falling off the sofa and landing heavily on the floor. His breathing was erratic and his hands were shaking, but he couldn't bring himself to look up. Shit. I didn't mean to. Florian, it's okay, calm down. You pushed yourself off the couch and crouched next to Florian. Don't come near me. Florian, seriously, it's fine, it's all okay, just take a breath. You tried to put your hand on his shoulder, but he backed up, his face twisted in a pained grimace. Just don't come near me. Fuck, I can't believe I'm a fucking idiot. I shouldn't be here around people, fuck. You didn't hurt me. But I wanted to so badly. But you didn't. You inched forward until you were next to Florian again. He turned his face away from you, but didn't protest. His breath was coming fast and ragged, like he couldn't quite catch it. Don't say it. I'm not a vampire. You could see Florian's body trembling, even in the dark. I have to go. Is that what all this sickness has been about? You're hungry? I can't do this. Not again. I can't do this to anyone. As quickly as he could manage, Florian pushed himself up and ran for the door. Florian! He was faster than he should have been, especially given how weak and shaky he had looked. In moments, you heard the door downstairs slam shut. You jumped to your feet and rushed downstairs, knowing full well that Florian was long gone, but wanting to try anyway. Damn it. Are you looking for Florian? Oh, Winnie. You turned to see her sitting on the counter, transparent legs hanging over the edge. Yeah, I was hoping he'd still be here, I guess. He ran off quickly. He looked upset about something. It's complicated, but I think I might have hurt his feelings. You didn't happen to know where he lives or his number, do you? No, Florian doesn't really share that kind of stuff. Right. I'll have to talk to him tomorrow then. Let's go! We're romancing Florian. Let's go. We earned 20 XP, I think it was 28. I'm not quite sure. I thought I saw 23, not 28. But I also added a 0 into the end in my mind, so I don't know how accurate my mind can be. Anyway. Your eyes went up to the clock. It was only 7:30 p.m. You hadn't slept for more than an hour or two. It felt like much longer. Your stomach growled and you remembered that you hadn't eaten dinner yet and that you were pretty much out of food. I'll have to head out and find a grocery store, so I guess I'll just keep an eye out for Florian. Not that I'll likely find him at a grocery store if he's really a vampire. You headed towards the door before stopping in your tracks. Is everything alright? Winnie's legs stopped kicking back and forth and she stared towards the ground, biting her lip. She fiddled with her sleeves and kept her eyes away from yours. You asked me about going out for dinner with you, right? Yeah, that's right. I'd love you to come. And I forgot to ask Florian. Well, I want to go. That's great, but I'm really scared. Scared? I haven't ever tried to leave the building. Wait, not even once? No, I'm scared that if I try, I'll just disappear. Winnie's shoulders drooped and she sighed. It's dumb, I know it is, but I've been here for as long as I remember, and I don't know if I still exist outside this building. What if the only reason I've lasted this long is because I've stayed here? What if I really am dead and not if I leave I'll pass on? Winnie's eyes went down to her feet and she swung them back and forth slowly. Hey, it's alright, Winnie. Seriously, it's okay. It sounds scary, but if you would rather stay here, we can do something else, just the two of us. But I want to go. I want to spend time with everyone and laugh and have fun. I don't care if I can't eat or anything, but I don't want to be alone anymore. But I'm too scared. I'm always too scared. You approached the counter and reached out, placing a hand over hers. It didn't feel like anything, you couldn't truly touch her, but the thought was there. If you want to do it, then do it. Be brave. I'll be right here beside you. You won't have to do it alone. Winnie hesitated for a moment, then pulled her hand back and floated down from the counter. Okay, you're right. I want to go. Thanks, Perez. You're the best. Did you want to try coming out with me now? No. I mean, thanks, but I think I need to build myself up for tomorrow. Alright, then it's a date. If you change your mind, just tell me, okay? Okay. At that, you double-checked you had your key before heading out into the growing night. The air was crisp and cold as you stepped out of the front door, and the wind rustled the trees that lined the street. There didn't seem to be anyone else wandering about, but then you supposed that most people would be sitting down for dinner or tucked into bed for an early night's rest by now. Bundling your clothes closer to your body, you started on your way to the main square. What fucking is the time right now? It's fucking 8:45. Jesus Christ. My phone has been going off like fucking crazy every time I stream. The town square was a little more lively than the store, but not by much. It seemed as if a good portion of the shops were closed or closing for the night, and only a few people wandered the streets. It was a far cry from the bustling crowds and bright lights of the city. The streets were clean and quiet, and the houses were well maintained without any signs of graffiti or broken windows. You could get used to this kind of life. You eyed the various stores around the area: a bookshop, a coffee shop, a hardware store, a pharmacy. Then you saw it, nestled at the corner of the street, a small grocery store. The same one Lucille had pointed out to you when you'd gone out for dinner together just the other night. The light inside was on, and a small open sign hung in the window. You walked towards it, keeping an eye out for Florian, but to no success. The inside was what you'd expect Holy fuck, my voice. The inside was what you'd expect of a grocery store, though much smaller in scale than the big stores back home. The aisles were narrow and the shelves were cramped, but it seemed like they had pretty much anything you need. The lone cashier nodded to you as you passed. No self-checkout here, which didn't surprise you. You won't take over today, computer overlords. You grabbed a basket and began picking out some basics: milk, eggs, butter, that sort of thing. Twice in one day, I think that's why they call it fate. You turned, hearing a now familiar voice behind you, to see Eden leaning against his shopping cart, red-haired, puzzled. Unless, of course, you just couldn't stay away and decided to search me out, in which case I'm even happier. Eden grinned, and it was a little infectious. Actually, the allure of a full stomach pulled me here. Fate it is then. So what you making for dinner? I'm tossing up between a sandwich or a cup of noodles. Oh, you shouldn't break out the fine china just for me. Sorry, this is a meal for one. Maybe you'll have better luck with the next person you walk past. What, you think I'd make a pass at just anyone? You leaned over at the front of his cart, mimicking his posture and smile. Yes. Ouch, straight through the heart. Eden pressed his hand to his chest, feigning a dramatic injury. I suppose I'll have to win you over the old-fashioned way, which is by being so irresistibly charming and interesting that you won't be able to get me out of your mind. Actually, no, sorry, but I'm going to date the vampire, not you. Unless you yourself are a vampire too, then we could change it up a bit, because you kind of look like my lover. Anyway. Sounds like a lot of work for you. I'm used to working hard. Eden smiled, his eyes sparkled with the reflected glow of the supermarket's fluorescent lights. We could always play through again, and I could romance Eden, but I'm gonna... Hold on, I'm looking up something right now because I'm very curious. I couldn't find my answers, so we can always romance Eden later, but for right now, I really want to romance Florian, so I'm gonna focus on Florian. We will eventually play through this a second time, probably, and romance Eden, but you can only romance one person at a time. So there might potentially be 5 playthroughs of this game, so I can romance each character individually. But for right now, we're focusing on Florian, because that's the first person we met. So I'm going after Florian. The second person you meet is Emmett. And then Lucille. And then... who are the other ones? And then Winnie. Technically, after Lucille. You get introduced to Winnie on the, first night, but you don't actually know of her until after Lucille. Anyway. And then we'll romance Eden. Who knows? Because Eden was the last comer. We might go in order, or I just might play a couple times to romance the ones that I actually want to romance, and then just move on from the rest, because Lucille doesn't really interest me, Emmett doesn't really interest me, and Winnie is a maybe probably. Okay, Winnie could be a third playthrough. I don't know, but I'm gonna romance Florian and Eden for sure. You glance down to his shopping cart, but were surprised to not see any food. Instead, you notice an assortment of cleaning products, gloves, string, and duct tape. Suddenly, my dinner looks like a 5-star restaurant compared to yours. Not hungry for duct tape? Maybe as a treat after dinner? You both laughed, and it was like a weight lifted from your chest. The events of earlier that night melted away, if only for this moment. I do a lot of DIY stuff, so I'm stocking up. Really? That doesn't look like woodworking supplies to me. You do look like someone who knows a lot about woodworking. Huh? I feel like I'm having a stroke right now. I can't fucking say that last word. Woodworking. Holy shit. You do look like someone who knows a lot about woodworking. Oh yeah, plenty. I made a chair out of popsicle sticks once. Well, I'm sold. I'll hang up my saw and move out of town tomorrow. Alright, but if you ever want to come back, you'll see a house is made of popsicle sticks. Fair warning. Eden smirked and pushed his cart to the side, letting another customer through. Care to join me, or would you rather stay here in the condiments aisle forever? I could think of worse aisles to be stuck in, but I think I'll join you. The two of you will start to walk through the aisle, and Eden took your basket and placed it in his cart. Wouldn't want your arms getting tired, so mysterious shopkeeper, I'm incredibly curious about you. Oh, really? You're the talk of the town, after all. Things must be really slow right now if I'm the talk of the town. You know how small towns are, they'll find anything to gossip about. You picked up a bottle of olive oil and dropped it into the cart. He picked up anyway. And yet, despite being the most interesting thing that's happened here in months, no one knows much about you. Most people assume that Sylvie didn't have any relatives. He glanced over at you. As far as I'm aware, she never left Willowmist either. What could pull her away so suddenly and drop you in her place? If you say please, I might be honest with you. Pretty please? I have no clue. Really, I'm not trying to be evasive, but honestly, I don't know. I have no clue why she decided to leave. She wrote me a letter and asked me to come, and here I am. She'd already left when I had arrived. So a mystery then. Even more interesting. But that doesn't say much about you. Want to tell me a bit about yourself? Depends what you want to know. If it's the numbers on my credit card, probably not. Where you grew up, for example. What your parents were like. What's your favorite color? Eden grinned and shrugged his shoulders. Take your pick, whatever you're willing to share. Do we do a charm check? Let's not. Answer him honestly. You want me to condense all of my interesting experiences and history down to a few sentences? I'd take an essay if you had one. I don't, but it's never too late to start. In the meantime, I grew up in the city with my mom and didn't know my dad. Sees all the way through school, and my favorite color is green. Your turn. Well, actually, I do have an essay prepared, so... He reached into his overshirt as if he had something hidden there, but came up with nothing. Damn, I must have left it at home. I'm sure you can give me a synopsis at least. I've made a few recent amendments you might enjoy. For example, did you know that I've discovered quite recently that my favorite color is orange? And I bet when you met me... Fuck me, I can't read! Ah! And I bet when you meet someone with blue eyes, your favorite color is blue. Do I really seem that shallow? I think Lucille doesn't dislike people for no reason. Eden glanced around as if to check no one was watching. Don't tell me you brought your guard dog with you grocery shopping. Maybe I did. She'll jump out when you least expect it. I promise I'll be on my very best behavior then. Eden added a few more things to his cart. Mostly small things, but nothing that could be considered a meal alone. A single potato, a flour but no other baking ingredients, a box of gelatin. Amidst the chatting, you found food for dinner too. Let's do instant noodles. Instant noodles it was. You oohed and awed over the flavor, but decided the unoriginal. It was the original for a reason. You're not fucking Casper! Pick the spiciest, I want you to suffer now. The two of you considered circling the store. I can't fucking read. The two of you continued circling the store until you'd found everything you came for. Dinner for the night, some fresh fruit, and a few essentials like soap and toothpaste. It wasn't much, but it would do. Eden, however, kept your basket hostage in his cart as he continued onwards, in no sort of rush. So, have you always been a carpenter? Oh no, I tried my hand at a lot of things actually. A jack of all trades, master of none, that kind of thing. Most recently, I was a bartender, but it wasn't for me, and before that, a cook, a painter, a photographer, and a waiter too. Is any of that actually true? At least half of it, probably, maybe. Really though, I didn't come out into the world expecting to be a carpenter. It just sort of happened. It was a niche that needed filling in Willowmist. The last carpenter disappeared under mysterious circumstances that had nothing to do with me. Sure, that's not suspicious at all. He is that one fucking meme. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. All the while being so fucking suspicious. Why do I doubt everything you say to me? Maybe you're a very good judge of character. He added a couple more things to his cart, and then began pushing it down another aisle, one you'd already been down twice already. What made you pick up carpentry, though? That's a pretty specific skill. Like I said, I'm pretty good with my hands. You looked down at his hands that he was still wearing the same gloves from that morning. There's something satisfying about making something real with your own hands. You just start with an idea, a few scraps of wood, and then suddenly there it is. Something solid, something that exists because you built it to. I think that's what I like about it. You take something raw, shape it into what it's supposed to be. Simple, straightforward. A piece of wood doesn't argue with you about what it should be. That's oddly deep coming from you. What can I say? I'm an oddly deep man. I'm sure you'll get to know that about me soon enough. He added a few more items to the cart before continuing onwards again. You followed more amused than anything else. I'm starting to wonder if you're leading me in circles, Eden. You can't blame a man for wanting good company. So it was on purpose. Of course, I wouldn't miss the chance to spend more time with you. But I suppose now the game is up, shall we? He motioned towards the counter where the cashier was still idling away. Grabbing your basket out of his cart, you checked out first, then headed outside. This is a very long day. It had gotten much cooler while you'd been inside. The breeze rustled the leaves overhead, and a few stray leaves spiraled down from the branches and landed in your hair. You reached up and shook them loose. Eden followed close behind, carrying several bags. Thanks for waiting. What did you think I did? What? Did you think I'd ditch you and run off? Maybe. I don't think I've got a real good read on you yet, Perez. You're interesting. I was considering it, but then I imagined you standing all alone in the cold with big, sad puppy dog eyes. I couldn't do it. Big, sad puppy dog eyes, huh? So, that's the kind of man I am in your mind? I don't mind playing that part. Well, I was gonna say a lost child at the supermarket, but I thought you might take offense. He flashed you a playful grin before glancing across the road. The street lamps cast a soft glow over the little park nearby. The swings swayed gently in the breeze, creaking faintly under their own weight. Now, since you were kind enough not to abandon me, allow me to return the favor. Oh, what favor is that? You're not going to grab my shopping and keep me hostage again, are you? He nodded towards the empty swings, then tilted his head at you expectantly. I happen to know that the swings over there have the best views of the stars in town. Trust me. His grin widened. Or not, if you don't want to. Sure, why not? They're all yes options, by the way. I have no choice but to do this. Sure, why not? I don't have anywhere else to be tonight. Eden, somehow with an armful of bags of groceries, linked his free arm with yours and led out the way over to the swings. I did not mean to do that. They were, as he said, not too far away and completely deserted. A few small lamps cast the area in a pale yellow glow, and a couple of benches were positioned beneath the trees, their surface covered in the leaves. You could see the moon above the treetops. There was something cozy about the place, secluded and peaceful, but not lonely. Just a small hidden space in the middle of town, a perfect spot for a midnight rendezvous. Or just a place to chat, which is what you were actually doing. Eden set his groceries down on a bench, then walked over to the swings, taking one of the two. You took the other, and he gently swung back and forth. Oh, another cutscene! Woohoo! So, what do you think of Willowmist so far? What I've seen has been beautiful. Kind people, great food, and the night is clear and cool. It's a lot quieter than back home. I could get used to this. And you're staying for 3 months? That's a decently long time, but also no time at all. Yeah, 3 months and then it's back home again. You sound a little disappointed about that. I don't know if I am or not, really. Things have just been a whirlwind ever since I arrived, and now it's already been a whole week. I blink and then it'll be time to leave. Aiden chuckled and held a little tighter to the swing's chain, still looking up at the stars. Then why leave? Well, my mom's still back home. Even 3 months without seeing her is a long time. Don't you ever miss your parents all the way out here? I'm sure I would if I knew them. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be, really. Family is a little meaningless to me. So, not raised by grandparents either? I had a more communal living experience, but forget that. I'm far more interested in you. Why not bring your mom here too? Well, she and my aunt don't have the best relationship, not that I know why. I wish I could have gotten her here. She'd have loved it. You let out a small sigh and pushed the swing a little harder, trying to get a little more height. A shame, knowing you and Sylvia, I bet she's incredible. You want me to hit on my mom now? You want to hit on my mom now too? I swear everyone in this town is after my family. Why would I do that when you're right here? I can just tell you already like it here. Would have been nice if she could see it through your eyes, don't you think? Yeah, maybe then I'd have some idea why she and my aunt don't get along. I always thought family feuds were supposed to be dramatic, but I don't even know what started it. You never asked her? I have, a bunch of times, but every time she changes the subject or tells me to drop it, so eventually I did. Maybe you should ask your aunt. She might not have the same hang-ups. I'd love to, if I knew how to contact her. No address or anything? I have literally no clue where she went. Ever the mysterious woman. Anyway, 3 months is a long time to be away from home. No friends you're leaving behind? A job? A lover, maybe? I had a job, but it wasn't anything special. Just a casual position flipping burgers, but they never gave me enough hours, so there's no loss there. A fast food restaurant store seems a little too mundane for someone like you anyway. What do you mean? Nothing in particular? You just seem to have a spark to you, like magic. I think Willowmist suits you. You barely know me. And yet, I'm always right about these things. He leaned back on the swing, his hands gripping the chains loosely as he tilted his head towards you, his smile easy but his gaze sharp. You have to admit, this town feels like it fits, doesn't it? It's been a week, and it's nice, but I don't know if I'd go that far. Not yet, baby. There was something in his tone, playful with an edge of certainty, like he knew something you didn't. You're making it sound like I was meant to be here. And maybe you were. He said it so easily, like it was fact, like he had no doubt about it at all. Don't tell me you think this is fate. Fate? No, I believe in inevitability. Inevitability! There we go. He turned his attention back to the sky, the soft glow of the streetlights casting shadows across his sharp features. People end up where they're supposed to, one way or another, and you, well, I think you belong here more than you realize. Everyone's designed for something, aren't they? Were you? Ida's expression didn't falter, but something shifted, just barely. Of course, I'm not exempt from the laws of the universe as far as I'm aware. And what is it you were designed for? That's an awfully direct question, don't you think? What if I said I was designed to sit here and make conversation with a beautiful stranger under the stars? I'd say you're dodging the question. Maybe I was made to find things out, to put these puzzles together, to make sense of things. That's a weird way of saying you were meant to be a carpenter, is it? Eden smiled and reached his hand out. Before you could react, he plucked a single leaf from your hair and held it up. He twirled the leaf between his fingers, watching it for a moment before tucking it behind your ear with a soft, deliberate touch. There, perfect. You think so? I'm not sure a leaf is the best accessory. You make it work just fine. He leaned back slightly, resting his arm against the swing's chain as he regarded you, a slow, knowing smile on his lips. It's strange, isn't it? People spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong, and others, they just fit somewhere, like they've been here all along. Are you talking about me or you? You. You're like a missing piece finally clicking into place. The quiet between you stretched on for a moment before Eden laughed and pushed himself off the swing. But enough about that. You should get some sleep before I convince you to stay out all night. You say that like it's a bad thing. I just hate to be responsible for you sleepwalking through your store tomorrow, and I wouldn't want you to miss our date. It's not a date if everyone's going. I'll just have to work extra hard to make sure you only look at me. He scooped up his grocery bags with an easy motion, shifting them over his shoulder. Shooting you a playful glance, he took a few slow steps backward, his silhouette cutting sharp against the lamplight. Don't miss me too much, alright? I think I'll survive, Eden. Good night. Good night, Graz. Eden grinned, turning on its heel and sauntering off into the night, leaving only the faint echo of his footsteps on the quiet street. You exhaled, leaning back on the swing, watching the sky stretch vast and endless above you. The town was still, the only movement, the occasional rustling of the trees in the night breeze. Rustling. I can't fucking read. Some people spend their whole lives searching for a place to belong. With a shake of your head, you pushed yourself up from the swing, then collected your groceries from the bench. You begin to trace back the path home that was quickly becoming as familiar to you as the back of your hand. It wasn't long before you were back in the town square, though it was now completely deserted. The streets were empty, save for a cat darting into an alleyway, and the only sound was the creak of a distant wind chime as it swayed softly. It's kind of a nice feeling walking at night. I never realized that. You glanced upwards towards the sky. The moon shone bright and clear, illuminating the night and the surrounding houses. There wasn't a cloud in sight, a beautiful night all for yourself. Or almost all for yourself. A flash of something caught your eye, a form of a tall, lanky figure sitting on a rooftop overlooking the square. He watched for a moment, little more than a shadow, before disappearing out of sight. Was that fucking Eden? You quickened your steps back to the store. You'd hoped to see Florian when you arrived back at the store, but he was still nowhere in sight. I wish I had his number or something. Approaching the counter, you searched for any kind of employee information your aunt might have left, but found nothing. No trace of where Florian nor Lucille lived, or a way to contact them. However, sitting on top of the counter, you found a sealed letter with Carez written on it. Setting down your groceries for the moment, you settled down on a stool, then quickly opened the wax seal to see your aunt's graceful handwriting. To my dear Sprout, I hope this letter finds you well and that Willowmist is starting to feel a little less like a place you've arrived at and a little more like a place you could belong. I've no doubt you've been charming the town left and right, whether you've meant to or not. By now you might be noticing that things here aren't always as they seem. Strange little happenings, peculiar folk with peculiar habits. You're sharp, my dear, you always have been. I won't insult you by pretending you haven't begun to put some pieces together. I wish I could have been the one to tell you everything myself, but, well, your mother never would have approved. She wanted you far away from all of this, and though she had her reasons, I always thought you should be able to decide for yourself. Our store, isn't just about antiques, it's about people. It's about community. It's about giving a little help to those who need it, even just enough to let them find their own way forward. Some of them have come a long way to get here. Some of them have nowhere else to go. But they all need something, and if you listen closely, you'll know exactly how to help them. I hope by now you've stumbled across that grumpy old book, or rather, I hope he's found you. He's a stubborn thing, don't take it personally if he's been less than welcoming. He was built to be particular about his company after all. If you listen, really listen, he has more wisdom tucked away in those pages than most people do in a lifetime. I know I left a lot on your shoulders, and I know it isn't fair, but I also know you can do this, my little Sprout. If anyone can, it's you. I have full belief in you. Hold on. There we go. Am I connected? There we go. But I also know you can do this, my little sprout. If anyone can, it's you. I have full belief in you. Take care of the store, take care of the people, take care of yourself, and please tell me you haven't tried to sell the bird vase. I told you it was cursed. With all my love, Aunt Sylvie. P.S. Tell Quinn I'm doing well and that I think of him often. He always did know how to make me laugh. I do hope the two of you have become acquainted. With a smile, he refolded the letter and tucked it away. Alright, Aunt Sylvie, I'll do my best. You're still not telling me where you went, huh? Retrieving your groceries, you headed back upstairs to unpack. Your room was much like you left it. The window was still open, your bed was still unmade, and a cushion from the couch was still discarded on the floor from your wake-up call with Florian. A small amount of guilt settled in your stomach as you put away the groceries and made a late dinner. It wasn't much, but it was food. If it isn't my illustrious... Hold on. I need a drink for this. If it isn't my illustrious master, returned from wherever nocturnal nonsense has stolen their attention this time. Barnabas fluttered into view with a dramatic puff of air as though he'd been holding his breath in indignation. I do hope your day's endeavors have been worth abandoning your faithful servant for hours on end. Imagine whatever inane nonsense kept you away was terribly important. Perhaps a riveting chat with one of your incredibly mundane customers. What, are you saying you actually wanted my company? I thought you wanted to be alone. Of course, master. I live to be ignored, neglected, and left stewing in stagnation while you frolic about with fagged employees and amateur spell work. It brings me immeasurable joy to gather dust along your tiny, cramped abode. Something tells me you're being sarcastic right now. You don't say. What a master of deduction. How will I ever escape the clutches of your incredible intellect? I did ask if you wanted me to come with me, you know. Which I did not. So what is it you want exactly, then? Not to be alone, but also not to spend any time with me. Precisely. Your wisdom knows no bounds, master. Though, to be candid for a moment, I much prefer your company over the lacking menace you insist on calling an employee. Honestly, a vampire, master? Did you already know? I could hardly call myself a grimoire if I did not know the scent of a vampire. I didn't think being a book had anything to do with smelling people, but alright. Alright, I forgot your brain lags behind sometimes, master. Let me spell it out to you quite simply. Magic is in the air, the thread of reality, and the auras people leave behind. And vampires, they reek of old blood, on death and regret. They are more than simple to pick out. But by all means, continue thrusting him. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong in employing an emotionally fraught bloodsucker with the impulse control issues, and a sad backstory. He's not really employed by me, he's employed by my aunt. Either way, Aunt Sylvie trusts him, and this store is a place for people who have nowhere else to belong. I wouldn't ever throw him out. Barnabas let out a long, drawn-out sigh, as if his entire world had grown tiresome. Oh, very well then. Continue ignoring my sage advice and do as you please. After all, it is your funeral, not mine. He turned his attention towards your half-eaten dinner and snorted derisively. A meal fit for a king, I see. A truly inspired use of your time and resources, master. You know, you're pretty judgy for a stack of paper. That's probably why you don't have any friends. You continued eating, waiting for Barnabas's almost guaranteed response. A stack, the gall of you, the gall! I do not need nor desire friends. I live to serve, not frolic around and have fun like some. Oh yeah? Well, then why do you get all so huffy every time I leave you alone? Barnabas fluttered indignantly, his pages puffing outward in an offended ripple. Because, master, leaving me unattended in this drafty little hovel is a waste of rare and precious genius. Not simply because I'm lonely, heavens forbid. I simply find it offensive to be shelved when I am once in a millennium arcane artifact. Totally not lonely. I am above loneliness, and loneliness is for sentimental beings with soft hearts. I am made of enchanted ink and intellect. Besides, I had plenty of company today. Lady Serafina of House Moonridge accused Countess Belladonna of enchanting her husband with a love hex. Again, and the fallout was positively catastrophic. Wine flung. Curses shouted. A hat caught fire. Utterly riveting. I struggled so much with that. There's too many words. I hate words. Now, I could be going crazy, but I'm pretty sure those are characters from a television show. The real sorceress of Silverkeep, in fact. It does not surprise me that you know so little about it. It is a fascinating documentary. A documentary. And you enjoyed watching this documentary? It was a purely academic viewing, master, a study of interpersonal dynamics among magically inclined nobility. It's research. Did you spend all day watching it? I may have absorbed 8 episodes, but only because Countess Belladonna's familiar betrayed her, and I had to see how that arc resolved. For scientific integrity, obviously. Right, scientific integrity. Honestly, if they simply enchanted their contract's findings properly, none of this would happen. Amateur hour, truly. Also, Serafina's illusion magic is atrocious. Her whole tower is a lie and no one is talking about it. And you do know that's all fictional, right? Obviously, master, but some elements ring true. Magic, after all, is based purely in reality. There have been countless Lady Serafinas and Countess Belladonnas throughout history. Anyone like me in there? Why, yes, there happens to be a talking toad that advises the Countess. I believe the character is called Toadsworth. You share many qualities. Careful there, Barney. Compliment me too much and I might accidentally fall for you. You would not be the first human to do so, trust me, nor the last. Wow, ladies man over here. Finishing the food, you cleaned up and then glanced over towards Benobus, who was still watching you. It's late tonight, but maybe tomorrow we could do some more practicing. I am always prepared to follow your knowledge and skill, master, though perhaps you could begin by tidying up this horrendous mess you call a room. Honestly, a pigsty, truly. That feels a little unfair. This is all my aunt's stuff, not mine. It's not like I choose to have a room full of clutter. You have lived in it for a week and haven't even bothered to put away your own dirty dishes, master. I would not deign to call that a good defense. With a groan, you conceded and began to put the room in order. You didn't have the energy for it, but you also didn't have the energy to argue with a book. Oh, by the way, my whole magic trick shtick meant to be a secret? Is my whole magic shtick meant to be a secret? Do I seem as if I have the answer to every question, master? You seem like you'd like to think that, yes? Well, I am pleased to see you accepting the truth. But to answer your question, yes, in general, revealing one's magical capabilities to the mundane masses is frowned upon, especially when one is a fledgling spellcaster who lacks any kind of control. You're far more likely to set your sleeves on fire than impress anyone. Hey, I'm already getting down that spell you taught me. As did every toddler taught it in the past. I'm on the level of the toddler? Just below, actually, but don't be discouraged, master. Toddlers are remarkably clever these days. You know, a bit of encouragement wouldn't kill you. No, but it might kill you, and I've grown strangely fond of not being shoved into a forgotten drawer again. So consider my criticism a public service. One day it might even save your life. One day I'm going to be so good at magic that you're going to eat those words. When that day comes, master, I shall serve them with tea, jam, and a commemorative plate. But until then, try not to burn down the house. I wonder how flammable you are. Excuse me? Did you just threaten to ignite me? Me, the illustrious Barnabas the Magnificent? I'll have you know I am warded against flame, though clearly not against rude commentary from reckless amateurs. Honestly, how flammable are you? Have you no shame, no decorum, no decency? You're so easy to wind up, Bernie. Well, yes, enjoy your jests at my expense, master. It's good to have a hobby when one lacks talent. I'm sure you'd know all about that, going back to the don't tell anyone lest you burst into flames, yada yada. Is it okay if I trust someone? That is your decision, master. There have been many famous spellcasters who were quite open about their craft, and others who were inherently secretive. Some were revered as visionaries, others burned at the stake. It was a mixed bag, really. Trust is a valuable resource, best spent in small increments and monitored closely. So you're saying I should trust, but be careful. No, I'm saying you should trust me and be wary of everyone else. But since I know you won't listen, yes, be careful. At least try to be. Magic may be your inheritance, master, but secrecy is your shield. You don't yet know what kind of eyes might be watching or what they want. You're being uncharacteristically serious right now. Yes, well, even I am allowed moments of grim sincerity. Now, if you're quite done probing the depths of philosophical trust, please turn on the next episode of The Real Sorceress of Silverkeep. I need to see if Lady Seraphina finally hexes that two-faced necromancer or just throws another goblet. Ah, yeah, here you go. He lifted up the remote and turned on the television. The screen lit up with images and a loud voiceover. Barnabas fell silent, and you took the opportunity to settle into bed. With a yawn, you glanced towards the open window and the moon hanging high and bright above the treetops. With a yawn, you glanced towards the open window and the moon hanging high and bright above the treetops. As tired as you were, sleep did not come easy. Thoughts raced through your mind, and the events of the day felt more vivid than ever. Still, after some tossing and turning, you fell into a deep sleep, accompanied by the occasional gasp from Barnabas in the background. Moving on to the next day. And this is where I ended. 2 hours of struggling to read later. I'm going to have to remember day 7, fucking search for antiques to buy, because there's none. Yeah, we don't have anything. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I struggled to read a lot. I am going to probably go scream on camera as soon as we end this here because I am so fucking done with reading. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I have to get ready for work in the morning. I probably won't have this up and ready to post tomorrow morning because usually on my YouTube channel I post VODs Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm recording this at like fucking 9:30 in the night on a Thursday night, and exporting usually takes anywhere between like 1 and 8 hours. So if I don't get around to getting everything done and edited tomorrow morning, I will probably just post this on Monday. Okay? So, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably be playing Minecraft next. The next time I stream, which will probably be either tomorrow or Saturday, I'll probably be playing
I won't back down. There's nobody stopping me except for me now. Now, 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 now.